Hey everybody, Justin with Utah Air Guns again, and we're going to review the DayState Pulsar, and specifically in caliber 177. Now, if any of you know me very well, you know that that's a pretty uncommon thing for me to be shooting or out testing or 177s. We hunt a lot more with the air guns here in Utah, and so the 177 is not quite as appealing, or so I thought. But I went down to Arizona this weekend, and we had a airgun seminar to learn how to work on repair FX, DayState, Broca, Omega compressors, and they even gave me this cool little certificate that I passed the course there. So what I learned about DayState over the past week was that I'm a bigger fan of them than I thought. Extremely simple and eloquent guns. So while I was there, I picked up a DayState Pulsar in 177. So let's talk about this a little bit. General consensus, 177 is fairly underpowered for hunting the pigeons and doves at further distance, which in the wind, yes, still a disadvantage over your 22s, your 25s. But at close distance, this thing shoots like a laser beam. I was very, very, very impressed with this gun. Probably going to be one of my new favorite guns to shoot, actually. Super, super quiet. In fact, I even had a Hug-It moderator on here over the weekend, and it was virtually silent. So I put the Aztec scope on. Starting to really like the scope as well. But let's get back to the Pulsar. So if some of you aren't familiar with the Pulsar, well, the Pulsar, like the Airwolfs, are an electronically regulated gun. So here's your gauge. And you can program these for 3 settings: high, medium, or low power. You can just program it by, you use a trigger sequence while it's not cocked. So anyway, now one thing that you may not notice about this gun, there is no spring to cock this back. This is just to cycle the pellet. This is just to cycle the pellet probe. The rest is electronic, which is awesome. So your gauge comes on, tells you your fill pressure, and you can program this to do it several different ways. Not on. Probably because I had it on safety. Okay, when it's on safety, there is no display because it turns off. If you're on fire, there is a display. There's also a laser that you can't. You can see that. Okay, cool. Integrated laser. Integrated level, which is nice, especially when you're first mounting a scope. You don't have to set up a different level system. You've already got a level right in your gun, which is awesome. Love that. But the advantages to this electronic system: 1, super efficient. The way this regulator works, very, very efficient, very quiet, very accurate. Standard deviation of about 3 to 4 on a 50-shot string, which is amazing. So, also, your trigger. Your trigger is literally like a mouse click. I was out shooting this over the weekend, and I shot for probably 2 or 3 hours with this gun, and I went back to a little FX Wildcat, which has a really good trigger as well, and the trigger almost felt sloppy compared to this electronic trigger. It kind of blew my mind. So I have become a big fan of this gun, and I don't think a lot of people give it a second guess because it's expensive, and it's not out there that much, but I'm gonna put it out there because I really, really like this gun. Accurate, super accurate. Very, very comfortable as well. It looks kind of this Space Shade's kind of almost bulky, clunky. It is extremely comfortable to shoot. Your bolt can switch left-handed, right-handed within a matter of minutes. Very simple. Pop a couple pins out, switch it around, flip this upside down on the other side, and you're done. So, yeah, I'm drawing a blank for a second. Yeah, we'll edit that. Trying to think what else I can say about it. Okay, so back to hunting with the 177 for a second. We were shooting collared doves, Eurasian doves, and pigeons. I stuck to around 40 yards, about the farthest I shot this, but it was windy, so there was that factor. But no problem dispatching the doves and pigeons at that distance. And what I thought was kind of interesting, most of you probably have seen this already, but when you're shooting at a shorter distance, say 40 yards and under in wind, your 177, especially if it's got a little velocity, is just, I mean, it cuts right through the wind, which would be opposite of what some of you may think, that, oh, it's a lighter pellet, it's going to drift at the wind easier. Not necessarily true. When it's that little teeny pellet going through there and it's going with some velocity, I think I had this shooting about 960 feet per second with a 8.44 grain JSB, and my wind hold was almost nothing at 40 yards and about a 15 to 20 mile an hour wind, which shocked me. When I went back to shooting my 22 caliber, I had to hold off, a good inch and a half of wind at that far. So very, very pleased with this gun, and that kind of debunks the 177 is not powerful enough to dispatch the bigger birds like the doves and pigeons. It does a fine job, and it does it extremely efficiently and extremely quietly. Couldn't say any more good about this gun. Love it, love it, love it. You should check one out, try it yourself. So, one thing to note about the DayStates that I learned in these seminars over the last week. I used to really be intimidated by the electronics and the electronic regulator, and man, just going to be too complicated to even touch. Not true. I have a whole new outlook on DayState and their simplicity. Amazingly simple guns, and you look at the electronics and you think, I don't know, something's probably go wrong really easy. Not true. Very, very simple electronics, and there's just not much to go wrong. Another thing to note, the mechanical workings of this gun. 5-6 O-rings in this entire gun. If any of you have had some other brands apart, that is freaking amazing, right? So the simplicity, I mean, this gun can be apart within 5-10 minutes, no problem. Very simple to put back together, to tune up anything you need to. Not a whole lot you need to do though. This is a very, very well put together system. It's basically flawless, and I love it. So I wanted to note that about DayStates because I was a little intimidated with these before I went to this seminar, and I have a whole new respect for this gun.